Okay, a point on the coordinate plane has several forms in which you can write it. You're already familiar with rectangular form, which is x, y. In trig form, it is the same idea, except this time you will have r, theta. R being the length or distance. No, I should really go with pen. Distance from the origin and theta is the rotation about the origin. Okay, we find r by using Pythagorean theorem. And we find theta by using inverse tangent. Inverse tangent of your opposite over adjacent. Your opposite will always be your y values. And your adjacent will always be your x values. Okay? Didn't let me finish writing values. There. Okay, so here's an example. So we've got 1, 4. So I go over 1, down -4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I do the same thing that I did. I draw my line. I make my bow tie. So then this is 1. So my x value is 1. My y value is 1, 2, 3, 4, -4. So this is theta. So I need to find my hypotenuse, which is going to be the square root of 4 squared plus 1 squared, which is the square root of 17. So I'm just going to put sine is -4 over square root of 17, and cosine is 1 over the square root of 17. Yes, I could rationalize the denominator. No, I don't want to. So my trig form is going to be square root 17, comma, and my theta, which is going to be my inverse tangent of, this is where I'm going to need my calculator, so we're going to have to reopen that. Alright, so inverse tangent of my opposite, which will be -4, over my adjacent, which is 1. So we're going to do inverse tangent of -4 over 1. And I get -75.9 degrees. Now this is in degrees. If you want it in radians, you have to change your calculator into radians, okay? So it was. So now it's going to be that times the so that comma and then my theta, which was -75.9 degrees. Okay. Another way you can write each of these forms, so we can write it in rectangular form using these. I'm debating on if I want to show it to you. Which would be square root 17 times, so my radius times my sine of -75.9, or no, wait, cosine's x, sine is y. Cosine of -75.9, which if you look, if I multiply this by the cosine, do you see how that becomes my y value, my x value, which is 1, comma my y value, which is going to be the sine of -75.9. That is also known as trig form. Okay, I want you to go ahead and do this. You're going to need to find your r and your theta in order to write it in trig form. So your trig form is going to be r times the cosine of theta, comma the sine of theta. All right? Then do the same thing here. And then we will meet back up and talk about complex numbers in trig form.